now they are, we are aged around 43 to 77. So healthy is our first priority because most of people, when they retire, they want to enjoy the good quality of life. We want to prevent all the chronic disease we have seen from the older people or our parents. And we know that we know and we believe that H2 can help people to improve the health conditions. Therefore, it's very exciting because the market is huge and it is a great potential to continue to grow.
What's up, all my H2 Minute peeps? This is Taiwan Hubbard, and I'm excited to do this H2 Minute interview. It's been a while since we did one of these, and I'm excited to have a guest. My guest today, Vina Chan. I've been building a relationship with her for a few years now, and we've been working together in the hydrogen space. And so in this interview, since it's an H2 Minute interview, we're going to talk solely about hydrogen, but we're also going to talk about her hydrogen products on our other channel, H2 Hub, which is our sister company. So Vina Chan, will you go ahead and give H2 Minutes or my audience a little bit of your background and just tell us who you are?
Hello, Taiwan and H2 viewers. My name is Vina Chan. I'm the general manager of VH Life in Taiwan. I was a CEO in the financial industries for several years. And then I finally left the industry, financial industry in year 2018 and set up VH Life. And since then, I'm in H2 health industry. Until now, it has been almost 5 years. VH Life specialized in distributing highly innovative H2 health products that includes inhalation device and also H2 rich water machines. Awesome. And all of our machines are all manufactured in Taiwan.
In me? No, I'm just playing.
Not made in China.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So, like as I said earlier, me and you've been able to build a few, like a relationship and kind of work together over the last several years, and it's just been really fantastic. And so I'm just uber excited that I'm able to have you in this interview with me and us to be able to talk about hydrogen. And with that being said, when did you learn, or how and when did you learn about molecular hydrogen and its benefits?
I learned the molecular hydrogen in 2018 when one of my best friends, she had a breast cancer stage 2. She was taught by her lawyer friend that to use hydrogen inhalation machine while she's doing the chemotherapy in Taiwan. And she did not suffer most of the side effects from the chemotherapy, like nausea, diarrhea, fatigue, loss of appetite. No, but she did lose some of her hair, but grew back very quickly.
Yeah.
So H2 prevented her cancer cells from spreading to another colony. And since then, she is cancer-free and back to normal life. And then we set up VH Life together in 2018.
Wow, that is amazing. That's an astonishing story, and it's really it's really seeming like a theme. I hear these stories often. Being able to teach about hydrogen and talk about hydrogen all the time with people, I get to encounter some of these amazing stories, and it seems like that's a theme that people kind of encounter hydrogen, have an amazing story, and then want to dive in. I know it's kind of similar for me in my background in discovering hydrogen as well. I've tried it with my athletic performance, playing football and trying to make it to NFL and doing all those things and using it on my body, and I had extraordinary recovery. And so it primed me to be curious and want to know why hydrogen water would work the way it works, and what is it that, what is this little gas that can go in my body and help me recover so fast? And so that is just a beautiful, amazing story of how VH Life got started. And I can only imagine how impactful that was for you and the people around you. So let's go ahead and what about hydrogen? Let's go ahead and move forward. What about hydrogen made you want to look a little deeper into it? Obviously, it seems like the story, impacting your friend that way. So, would that be what made you want to go deeper?
Yes, because of my friend's fast recovery by using the molecular hydrogen therapy. So I start looking further into it. And we all know that there is the first research published in Natural Medicine in year 2007 by Dr. Ota. He is a Japanese doctor specialized in biochemistry and cell biology. So after that, they are now, because we have been reading a lot of studies and research notes, and a lot of the information we received is from H2 minutes. So now there's already over 2,000 clinical studies and research around the world, and it is still undergoing.
Well, thank you for the shout out, about H2 Minutes and being able to have our videos out there teaching people as well. Nature Medicine was a huge article and was very formative for me as well when I was looking into hydrogen. And I didn't know an awful lot about research publications at the time, but it was made known to me that Nature Medicine is a prestigious, like the prestigious, highest prestigious journal there is in hydrogen, was published in there for acting as a selective antioxidant, Dr. Oda study. So after that, it caught my attention, and it actually was one of the hydrogen papers I started to show people. Like, hey, this seems like a serious deal. Hydrogen really might be we might be onto something here with hydrogen. And so what excites you the most about hydrogen?
The thing most excites me is that in the 21st century, finally, scientists and doctors, they discovered that the H2 has the therapeutic effect to some or most of the disease that maybe traditional or conventional medicine cannot cover.
Right.
So this is very exciting. And then let's talk about the global trend. It is a aging population globally, and there is a consensus that how to age healthier and live longer is the main priority for everyone, especially in the population. In the generation of baby boomers and Gen X. Now we are aged around 43 to 77. So healthy is our first priority, because most of people, when they retire, they want to enjoy the good quality of life. We want to prevent all the chronic disease we have seen from the older people or our parents. And we know that we know and we believe that H2 can help people to improve the health conditions. Therefore, it's very exciting because the market is huge, and it is a great potential to continue to grow.
Yeah, you actually talked about scientists, kind of catching up with hydrogen there, and it's just like, because I did a video talking about the history of the medical history of hydrogen. And I think the first publication all the way back, I think it stretches all the way back to 1793. There was kind of hints in the publication about, there was, thinking maybe hydrogen could have like a beneficial effect for humans, you know? And so then we get to 2007, all the way to 2007 with Dr. Oda for it to explode. And like you said, there's just so many people, you know, definitely within that age range of 40 to 70, that this is, you know, when aging and, you know, biological aging increases, right? Oxidative stress, inflammation, stuff starts to catch up with us at 40 to 70. You know, our 30s lifestyle and our 20s lifestyle starts to catch up to us, you know, in our 40s, between 40s and 70s. And so I think it is exciting. I think hydrogen, you know, we put out a video recently for hydrogen for preventing diseases. And there's just so much potential there. And we all want a really good quality of life. We all want to be able to live old, but not, we want to live long, but not feel old and not actually have to be old
and not feel sick.
And not feel sick. And there's just so much good research and actual tangible effects of hydrogen happening in people when it comes to that. So my next question for you is, what is hydrogen awareness like where you live? Or what is the public perception of hydrogen in Taiwan?
I would say the awareness is kind of a medium because it's a new science. People are always skeptical about new science, so education is needed further for in the market. And also that Taiwan is considered to be a number one of the top 3 aging population in the world. Okay, and our older people spend, according to the research, the Taiwanese older people spent the last 7 to 8 years in bedding. So there's a lot of chronic disease happened in Taiwan old population. And they used to take Chinese herbal medicine or Western medication for their disease. We would like to educate them to prevent this aging-related chronic disease by adopting the molecular hydrogen therapy to them. So we have been doing the education, and we will continue to do now. And the second, compared to 5 years ago, we now work with more doctors. Now more doctors, they see we consider the molecular hydrogen as a natural medicine. They are willing to use the natural medicine hydrogen to include it into their conventional treatment to improve or speed up the recovery for their patients. Okay. And we are more than happy to see that there are some doctors now in Taiwan starting to do some small scale of human clinical studies in Taiwan.
Oh,
yes.
Great.
So yeah, the awareness is growing and positive.
Well, that's really good. I can only imagine it'd be more than what it is over here. Here in America, it's growing, but I would say the awareness is rather low. And H2 Menace is on the forefront of trying to educate and bring awareness to molecular hydrogen, about molecular hydrogen here in the United States. And so knowing that it's actually growing and you're actually having medical doctors start performing clinical studies, and people are starting to adopt it, and actually the awareness is actually growing. I think that's just super encouraging, because it's such great potential that we have over here when it comes to the medical research with hydrogen and those who are starting to utilize or implement it. But there's still such a gap between the people who actually have the awareness, right? And so whatever we could do, I know here at H2 Minutes, whatever we can do to try to continue to build that critical mass so hydrogen become mainstream, that's what we want, so we can impact the most amount of people. And it sounds like you are doing that with your company as well, pushing hydrogen's agenda forward to be a huge impact, positive impact on many people's lives. My next question would be, what do you think is the future outlook for molecular hydrogen?
The outlook is promising. And because we have been here for around 5 years, so word of mouth marketing is powerful. We have been selling machines to a lot of clients globally, and when they realize the therapeutic effect of the molecular hydrogen, they will introduce and they will talk, and it is spreading gradually. Okay, and as I say that because Japan government already approved hydrogen as a medical gas in year 2016. So Taiwan is very close with Japan. So once Japanese government supported this science, so this acceptance of the Taiwanese is much higher than compared to your market, right. I think, because we are all in Asia. So we work more with more doctors now, and one of the doctors told us that he is so confident that hydrogen will play a very important role in the convention treatment in the very near future.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, in the near future.
Yes.
Man, I would enjoy that a ton. Because
let's enjoy it together.
Yes, let's enjoy it together. What do you think is needed for the hydrogen industry to actually get to that point, right? To actually get to what that medical doctor is talking about?
The government support. If the government can support the hydrogen science like Japanese government do, and that will help a lot. That to recognize actually hydrogen as a medical gas that can help people to improve or prevent some health issues. And then after that, if it can be taught about the hydrogen science in medical schools, that will also help.
Right.
And last one, as you have been keep doing H2 Minutes, it's a very educational and professional platform to share all the informations and the research papers to the public, educating people know about hydrogen.
Right. Well, thank you again for that shout out. And I would add too, to that is like, people like you and people who see what we're doing, supporting us, supporting the education, because it's about, like, that's how it leads to awareness. People need to learn about it, And so that's one of our visions that we saw here at H2 Minutes was we just didn't see a whole lot of good quality educational videos that could be attractive to the everyday person. And so that's one of the things that we're so passionate about is taking the science, making it simple, and repackaging it in such a way that they can get it without losing the science. And sometimes that's that's the challenge a lot of times is sometimes you can give them the science and then they don't understand it, and then you lose people. But then sometimes you repackage it so much that you actually end up losing the accuracy that is necessary for understanding the topic of hydrogen from the science. So you kind of lose the science. And that's what we're trying to do, is have the best balance, the balance of both worlds, right? And being able to disseminate that information and make it simple without losing the science, and keeping the publications, letting people know that there's a lot of good science going on, a lot of good research around here, and that it's continuing to move forward. And so, hearing that H2 Minutes has been impactful, over there in Taiwan, and you guys have been able to see it, and it's been able to be shared to others, is humbling, and also, makes me feel like what we're doing matters. So thank you so much for letting us know that what we're actually doing is impactful, for people. Moving on with that, as a supporter of H2 Minutes, why do you think education about hydrogen is so important?
Yes, as we discussed that, I believe H2 Minutes, as you said, it's not easy to combine the science and into an easy to understand language. But H2 Minutes has been doing a great job. I think the key thing is to tell the people that it's a medical gas in Japan, so it is extremely safe. And there's so many research studies already show up that hydrogen can improve people's health issues. Okay, and also that molecular hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the universe. Actually, in your stomach already exists some hydrogen every time we eat fiber. So it's natural, it's safe, it's very small, it can penetrate to your cell or your brain to remove the toxic free radicals from your body. So you can prevent from any aging-related disease. The thing is that with our client base, there are 70% clients who bought the machine for improving health, not maintaining health. So more education to be done is to teach the audience that prevent disease actually is more important than improvement.
Right. Prevention is better than treatment.
Yes.
We actually just quoted that in one of our recent videos for hydrogen for disease prevention. And as you said, like, there's a couple things you talked about with hydrogen. I know that we've kind of tried to cover in our videos, just some of the basics that you said, being the smallest molecule in the universe. I know we come up with a really cool little example where you like you take a strand of hair and then you look at the strand of hair and then you can and you look at the width of a strand of hair, and you can fit 3 million hydrogen molecules across the width of a single strand of hair, just to try to help people understand how small is hydrogen, and because of its size, like what it can do. And so a lot of times when I know I'm discussing with people, I try to help them understand that it's a without getting too fancy into all the science of the microbiology of it, but it truly is kind of like more root cause medicine. It's dealing with kind of the root causes of diseases, where oxidative stress and chronic inflammation and cellular apoptosis, like cellular death, and like all these type of mitochondrial dysfunction, and cellular bioenergetics, these type of things that are at the root causes of diseases. And hydrogen aids with all of them, like you said, reducing oxidative stress. It regulates inflammation and different cytokines, and so it's amazing. And it's like what people need to know, like you said, what people need to know, or to help them to know, that would be education. Like,
yes.
So once education happens, then they can see the benefit and they say, okay, that makes sense. Oh, well, now there's good science. Okay, well, now the Japanese government has signed off on it as a advanced medicine for post-cardiac arrest syndrome. Like, wow, I didn't know these things. Yeah. And so I think that's how you start to get to the people. And if it's just one person at a time, then we will continue to do this one person at a time until we get to the 8 billion people on the rock. That's our approach. And I know that it seems like that's one of the things that you value in what we're doing. And we really appreciate your support, and getting behind the education of hydrogen. And so my next question would be, what is it about H2 Minutes that makes it so important and needed for the hydrogen industry?
At H2 Minutes is a very informative and very educational platform, not only for hydrogen industry, but for the consumers. As we know that you use the layman language to convert the science talks into the easy to understand language. Okay, and then every video you make, there is a link at the bottom, so we can have a direct access to see, oh, okay, what Taiwan saying has a science evidence or proof that it is a new science that we can look around to adopt hydrogen into our daily life to improve the health. So as an industry player, we really like to thank you for H2 Minutes. You have been a strong advocate of molecular hydrogen, and you are like a hydrogen representative, industry representative.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Very important for us.
Yes, thank you so much. When we ended up beginning H2 Minutes, that was one of the things we wanted to stand on and continue it, moving forward in the future, was that we were always going to substantiate what we're saying about hydrogen with scientific research. And so under every H2 Minute video, you can find publications that went into forming that video, and it's really important because there are a lot of internet influencers. So people who come out and they get on the internet and they say this is good or this is good, but it doesn't mean that it actually has any kind of evidence to support whether or not it's good for people or not, and especially here in the States, there's a lot of influencers who say this is good, you should take this and do this, and that's one of the things we wanted to do with H2 Minutes, was make sure that when people understood that when I'm saying something about hydrogen and when we're producing videos about hydrogen, that it's truly not based on my opinion. I'm trying to help you understand the evidence for it, so that you can actually take it to the bank and say, okay, I know at the very least, when Taiwan's talking, he's saying something that's grounded in some kind of evidence, scientific evidence, some empirical evidence that hydrogen's doing these things, and it's not a matter of opinion. It's not a matter of what we want to think about it, and that's a big thing. And I think that is something that the industry needs, because, anybody can go around saying hydrogen is going to be good for you. But how can a person go about demonstrating that hydrogen is good for you? And I know that's what we're trying to do as our part. So thank you so much for supporting us, and seeing the vision of what H2 Minutes is doing and how we're trying to be a spokesman for hydrogen. And so thank you so much, Vina, for having this interview with me, and taking the time out of your busy day and schedule to be able to hop on this video and tell people about hydrogen and how you've been involved in the industry and been helping people with it. So thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you, Taiwan.
All right, H2 Minutes. See you later.